bam, ba-dam, bam, bam. How's it going, everybody? It's your favorite washed-up YouTuber back again with an incredible, great video. This is my topic of what's the best Final Fantasy game that you should play if you're a newcomer. So if you're somebody who's never played a Final Fantasy game, then I'm assuming that you've clicked on this video, maybe. This is for people who have never played it. Plus, if you're somebody who's trying to get your friend into Final Fantasy, this is my opinion of what game is the best game, Final Fantasy game, to start off with. Now, just a little disclosure here. Just is that the right word? Disclaimer, whatever. Just ignore Quina there. I put that as a joke. I fucking hate this character in the corner right now. It's mirrored. It's, oh, there we go. That's better. I hate this character. So, please don't look at that as, oh wow, that does not represent Final Fantasy. I hate that character with a passion. It's the worst character in Final Fantasy, but that could be a whole other topic, which I could go on a tangent of why I hate Quina for an hour. Anyway, so this is a question that I kind of, I don't know, I guess recently I've been trying to get my friends to play it. I got my girlfriend to play it, and I got Angus to play Final Fantasy X recently, and they actually both really enjoy it. I've had a few people ask me as well, like, I've never played Final Fantasy, like, which is the best one to get into? Now, it obviously depends on kind of your attachment as well to the certain games and your preferences, but I'm gonna try and be as unbiased as possible if I, like, just judging it by its merit. So, straight off the bat, 1 to 6, I'm sorry, but no. If you're trying to get somebody new into it, they're, you know, 6 is actually the only one I haven't played. 6, I've played every single Final Fantasy game apart from 6. I always play like an hour of it and then I just get caught up with life and I never beat it. But that's on my list of to do, right? But, so I guess in a way I can't really, you know, say, oh, 6 is, you know, but I can't get what I'm trying to say out. Basically, like, even if 6 is incredible and that is the one you should play first, I can't even have much of an opinion on it. But just from what I've played of it for the first hour or two, just the graphics are just it's too old now. And I don't, like my sister, I tried to get her to play Final Fantasy VII. And she was like, I can't, the graphics, man. Because obviously it was like PS1 graphics. And I mean, it depends on how far you can go back. So for me, I can't go past like PS1. I don't like playing RPGs that are kind of SNES kind of graphics. I really dislike it. PS1 era and 64 is kind of as far as I can go back personally. Whereas somebody who's older than me can probably go back and play those, no problem, and it's not a big deal. So it depends on your generation as well. But I would say 1/6 out of the bat. The reason why I say I kind of put the cap at 7, the original 7 that is because it's been obviously ported, right? So you've got better graphics, you've also got, this is very important by the way, you've also got the speed up mechanic, all these things that can help you. Not to mention with 7, if you get it on PC, you know, there's loads of mods you can get to make the graphics better, the character models better, make it a bit more, you know, kind of modernized for younger audiences. Same with 8, like 8 is a game that I love 8, but I can imagine why I understand why people don't like 8. However, with the speed up system that's on the Switch version, when you press in on the stick and it speeds up the battles for the drawing system, it actually made the game 10 times more enjoyable. I did a whole video about Final Fantasy VIII, so if you want my opinions on that port, then go check that out. But yeah, so like, I would say 7 onwards, you've kind of got, you know, a decent shot. Maybe not 11, obviously, but you know, any of those I'd say you could probably try and you probably like them. But the best one, in my opinion, to try right now, if I had to give a recommendation, I'd say Final Fantasy VII Remake. Just because it makes sense. 7's got a great cast, it's got a great story, and, you know, for example, my brother doesn't he doesn't like RPGs. But I guarantee he'd like this game, because it's action-based, you know? It's got RPG elements, of course, and it keeps up the spirit of the original. But it's definitely more catered toward, you know, people who haven't grown up with the turn-based RPGs, who are never really into them. But it also does have the turn-based stuff. I think it's just a really good blend of everything, and I think FF7 Remake is the one. But secondly, and again, I'm trying to be unbiased here, but I really think Final Fantasy X. And the reason why I say Final Fantasy X is because, again, it's PS2 graphics. And unlike Final Fantasy 13, because 13's quite similar in a way, but 13's a bit too linear. And I feel like the progression just doesn't feel as satisfying. The narrative as well, the narrative doesn't hold up with 13. I still like 13, but compared to 10, I just don't think it holds up. 10 has some goofy voice acting and stuff, But I think that kind of has that charm to it. And I think, in my opinion, 10 encapsulates a lot of what Final Fantasy is about. It can be kind of goofy at times, but it can also be taken seriously. You know, and the progression system, leveling up system is pretty good. I think the spear grid as well is a good system because it's like, it's not too complicated, but when you first play, you're like, oh god, this looks kind of complicated. And you'll kind of get used to it, which means when you play later games of the Final Fantasy franchise, you'll be a bit more, you know, you'll understand it a bit more. Like even 8, when I was a child, for example, when I played 8, I didn't understand the junction system at all. I just didn't get it at all. 7's got the easiest for that kind of stuff, definitely. But I mean, you may as well play the remake. Plus, like, if you play the remake, then you can go back and play 7. Do you know what I mean? And just go play it all the way through anyway. But I think remake and 10. I think 12 is a tough sell because 12 just, even though, I mean, don't get me wrong, I played 12 again recently. And it is a really good game. It does fall off a little bit toward the end, but the last bit it picks up, but there's a gap. Basically, if you had to put it in like quarters, I'd say the third quarter, it just really kind of falls off a bit. There's like not a lot of narrative going on, and it's just a bit like, oh, can something happen now? I just think 10 is a great one because narratively, I fucking love it personally. I think it has one of the best stories and the best worlds of Final Fantasy. But the one good thing about it is that with the turn-based system, unlike 7, 8, and 9 where it has ATB, you're gonna be quick on your feet or whatever, like you think what you're doing, there's no time limit and you can kind of chill a bit, you know? You can be like, okay, if I do this and do this, it's more of a strategy game. And I think that it's just a bit more easygoing for people who aren't necessarily very good at games or never played that kind of game before. But again though, when the remake's pretty tough, but I also, I don't know, man. I guess, in my opinion, those two, I would say, are the ones I would recommend first, like those two to play. If you aren't, you know, if you're somebody who wants to throw yourself just into a Final Fantasy game with friends and just kind of experience something that's quite complicated and really just go for it, then I would say 14. I think it's funny because Final Fantasy 14 is legit one of the best Final Fantasies, if not, you know, I think Final Fantasy 14 is incredible. I love that game, the world, the characters, the story is fucking great. The combat system, everything about Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn, it's so fucking good that, I mean, I dip in and out of it, but when I get into it, I get obsessed with it. It's all I want to play. It's such a good game. So I recommend that as well if you really want to kind of throw yourself into something and, you know, play an MMORPG, but I guess really the one spot I'd do Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I know this video's been me going all over the place and rambling, and that's just kind of my style of videos, I guess, but I'll kind of give you the reasons why. I mean, it's modernized, you know? It's Final Fantasy 7, but told, as much as we want to cry about some plot points that have been changed, it is, for this modern day, Final Fantasy 7 Remake is better than the original right now, I would say. Well, say the original, you know what I mean? That section of the game. Like, you may have, like, why would you not want to play Remake for the Midgar section? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyway, leave a comment down below what your favorite Final Fantasy is. And if you're interested in playing Final Fantasy game, which one interests you the most if you haven't played it. But yeah, farewell for now, and I'll see you next video.